Hey guys, this is Camfrey15 and I am back at it with another video for you guys. And I am here to finally do a review on an anime that's been out this spring, anime 2021, for the past 3 weeks, and that is Koikimo. I think that's how you say it. Which, yes, I have watched the first two episodes. Most of them will be talking about the third episode here, but the reason why I didn't talk about the first two episodes because it was kind of a late type of thing I watched and I finally caught up. So this anime is really freaking interesting. And again, this anime, it's funny because it's like there's another anime kind of similar in this genre this season, which is Higi Hero. And it's like you go from watching Higi Hero to this, and it's like it feels like nothing's changed. You just essentially have an adult in his like mid to maybe late 20s, potentially end up by the end of the show dating the teenage girl. Now, where your demographics lie in that case, it's up to what you believe. But for me, as long as they don't get into testy things, and they make it a nice, sweet, romantic story, then that's fine by me. And this week's episode was kind of a nice, sweet, romantic type of episode here. But I like this show. That's why we're gonna obviously be talking about it going forward. I find it funny how this guy, this middle-aged 20-year-old, essentially is hitting on his sister's best friend. And, he's just kind of doing all these things, kind of being a pest to her. And we kind of see in this episode, in episode 3, where, he's still kind of a pest, but not much as a pest. And then we kind of see how in the first two episodes, Ichika was kind of trying to be like, yeah, I'm not about that life no more. Or get away from me, you're freaking stalking me. Where she still kind of has those tendencies, but she's being a little bit more open to our boy Rio. So yeah, anyways, that's kind of just my thoughts. I like the first and second episode. I knew after the second episode, Ichika would start to at least have the thoughts of opening up to our boy, a little bit more often. But let's get to this week's episode. Now we see the first episode we see the third episode start off with this guy and his friends. This guy named Tamara. We find out because his friends are like, I wonder what girls in our class, would be cool dating or would be cute or hot or something like that. And they bring up, Rio. Rio. They have the same damn name, just spelled differently. One's Ryu and the other one's Ryu. Technically one's called Ryu and the other one's called Rio. They say Rio, Ryu's sister essentially is a cutie, she's a looker and stuff like that. But we kind of see Tamara kind of focuses on Ichika because he remembers from the cultural festival that he kind of walked in on Ichika and Ryu hugging, which it was just a way of Ryu protecting Ichika from falling and stuff like that. Now, it's funny because he kind of gets hit with a ball and she apologizes. She's like, I'm sorry for that. Anyways, they talk in class, and Ichika actually sees that Tamara's reading a manga that, she's into. And she's like, oh, that's so cool that you're reading, a manga that's having an anime adaptation about it this week and stuff like that. Do you mind me if I borrow reading some books and stuff like that? And he's like, yeah, go ahead. I'll bring some books so you can read them and stuff like that. So that's cool. Anyways, after school, she's walking home in like some alleyway type of thing. We actually see Ryu call her, and we know from the past few episodes, it would take her a while before she starts picking up the phone. And she literally picks up the phone on the first time he calls her. And Ryu's like shocked. He's like, you called me on the first phone call. That's awkward. And she's like, yeah, what's so awkward about that? Which again, like I mentioned earlier in the episode, in the review, that she's now starting to open up to our boy a little bit more after what he did, because he kind of did, well, I wouldn't say save her life, but kind of did protect her, because if you fall up the stairs, you could get hurt really bad, trust me. I've never fallen off the stairs, but you could possibly like break a leg, break a foot, break an arm, you know, and stuff like that. Heck, maybe worse, you could actually die from falling down the stairs. Apparently that's what happened to Zoro's childhood friend. She fell down the stairs and killed herself. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, she starts to pick up, and essentially Ryu's asking like, where are you at and stuff like that, because he's like, you're walking home by yourself, where you at? And essentially she's like, I'm by this like gas station, which literally says 8-11. And I'm like, yeah, 7-Eleven sounds 10 times better than 8-11. Probably should have did 8-16, if we're gonna be honest. That sounds more better of a rhyme. But okay, he's like, okay, I'll be there in a quick second. At first he's gonna take a taxi, but then he runs, and it's funny because the moment she walks out, he's like, oh, thank goodness you didn't leave, and stuff like that. And then that's when Tamara actually walks in on the situation, and we see Tamara come out here, and essentially Ichika's like, why are you here? And he's like, I live around the corner from this gas station, essentially, or this little quickie mark, essentially. And essentially that's when, you know, they bring up the whole manga stuff between Ichika and Tamara, and we see Ryo get freaking jealous, and he starts to kind of be like, you know, she's happy and stuff like that. And, you know, I'm like, okay, my boy, you're getting kind of a little touchy there and stuff like that. So that was all fun and games. He eventually walks her home and stuff like that. Now the next day, Tamara actually asks Ichika if her and Ryu are dating. And essentially Ichika's like, there's no way in hell we're dating. Please, if you think we're dating, you must be mistakenly wrong. And stuff like that. And Tamara's like, oh, I'm sorry for the misunderstanding and stuff like that. So it is funny. But Tamara, before he leaves, he's like, look, I don't know if you're just gonna know this, but he might be messing with you and stuff like that, which gets into Ichika's head. And then it cuts over to Ichika being in her and Ryo's room, where Ryu's just like, hey, you need some help on studying and stuff like that. Ryo had to go out and talk to a teacher that was looking for like some sort of relationship advice. We find out later. And essentially we have a talk between Ichika and Ryu, and essentially it gets to the point where Ichika essentially asks Ryu, like, why are you doing all this? Like, why? You know, why are you being so nice to me? Why are you acting like this? You know, you're not doing this, you know, just to mess with me, just to make me get a reaction out of you and make me try to forcibly fall in love with you. And then she looks at Ryu, and Ryu's like, why would you say that? And then he kind of walks out. And that's at the same time, that's when his sister comes in, and the sister's like, what happened here? And that's when Ichika kind of says, well, I kind of said something kind of mean to him, even though I don't think that's kind of a mean comment. I think she's honestly in the right to ask that question, because it's like, well, why would this middle-aged 20-year-old individual have feelings for me? Like, is he just messing with me? Is he not just messing with me? I think she was in the right. I feel like that's not a problem asking a question, but she clearly did see, but maybe she did get a little bit over the top saying like, you know, like, I think it's just unnatural and stuff like that of you to be doing all this. And okay, and anyways, we find out that Ryu's feelings are kind of hurt and he's kind of down about that. And we kind of see that, you know, they kind of talk to each other, but they're not really like, he's not acting over the top essentially, because he kind of got his feelings hurt. Of course, if you like a girl and a girl essentially says, are you just toying with my emotions? You'd probably be hurt, because if you're the guy, you'd be like, well, I'm not toying with your emotions if I clearly am showing affection to you. So yeah, but he's clearly hurt by this. He later finds out, thanks to Ryo, that Ichika got sick and she's out today. He literally rushes over to her house. And it's funny because we get a whole backstory of the conversation with his mom, because his mom Ichika's mom talks to Ryu for like 30 minutes. He shows up. He's kind of overdoes it a bit, kind of by getting like some medicine and some fruits and yogurt and stuff like that. And we kind of have a heart-to-heart talk between the two and stuff like that. And essentially, what happens is, because we see Ichika kind of troubled the fact that she never apologized to Ryu, and we see that like Ryu gives her this math study guide, and he's like, hey, my sister told me that you have a freaking math test, so I couldn't staple the papers together, so I had somebody make a study guide for papers in less than to learn under in around 30 minutes and stuff like that. And that's when we see Ichika finally apologize for what she said and stuff like that. And Ryu actually kind of throws it off by saying, it didn't mean much to me, look, I understand, it's fine, and things like that. But we later find out at the end of the episode that he actually appreciates the fact that she did apologize to him, because it really did affect him and stuff like that, which was, I think, a pretty nice, cute scene. We see she ends up passing her math test. She gets like a 92 on it, and she's like, I can't believe that damn study guide from that damn idiot friggin' helped me and stuff like that. Now I have to thank him, which means now I have to owe him again, which I found hilarious. But that's kind of where the episode ends off, and yeah. Again, another good episode of Koikimo. Definitely liking the relationship building between the two. You can definitely now see that Ichika is starting to open up a lot more to our boy Ryu, and stuff like that. You definitely can't wait to see where next episode goes, because this show I like its romance and I love its comedy of how desperate this guy is to be like, please love me. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. So if you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on Koikimo. I guess what could happen next episode, as well as hit that subscribe button if you want to get more reviews on this show, as well as any of the other anime I review on the channel. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. Until then, guys, I'll see you guys on the next video. Stay safe out there. Peace.